Hi, it's Sue and Steve from the Amateur Allotment. We've come down today just to do a few bits and pieces. We've done an awful lot up here. The date is the 22nd of May. We've got a few videos to put on as well. We've been so busy with
So behind with
everything.
our workload at home that we just haven't had time to get any editing done, but they're coming.
So what we're going to do is I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the allotment. Steve's going to put the names of the seeds and everything that we've used, who we've used it with, mostly Suttons, but we'll put the names of them and everything on at the bottom of the screen, just so that you know which ones we've used. So I'm just going to spin you around quickly and show you what the plot looks like now. So I'm just going to start at the front of the plot, and then I'll spin you around and show you everything that we've got. In this one, these are all my onions that I grew from seed, so they're all doing quite well. I've got the red onions, and over in that side I've got the white onions, if you can see those. They're growing quite nicely at the moment, so they look really good. I've planted a mixture of flower seeds here. It was just a variety that I just put in the trough. They're all growing really nice, but like I said, I can't tell you what they are because it just says mixed on the pack. These are my cosmos. Excuse the elves. These are my cosmos that I've grown as well. Yeah, I've got them everywhere. So that's the onions that I've grown from seed. In this one, I've got my shallots. I've never grown shallots before, and I don't really know how they're supposed to look, but I suppose they're okay. They're growing really nice. So I'm just trying to get it through the net in here just to see if I can show you. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so they're all looking okay. Like I said, we'll put it at the underneath. Steve's going to put down everything that what they're all called and where we got them from. And you do know, I think these are, what are these?
These are the Stuttgarter Giants.
Stuttgarter Giants. So they're looking really, really good at the moment. Try and put those through the nets. Yep, there's a few in there. There's one there that's must have been two, but I don't know how I managed that. I think the rest of them look okay. I've never grown onions before, so I suppose they're all doing okay. So over in this bed, this is the garlic. Never grown garlic before either, and looks a bit sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say rusty at the end, but I don't know whether it's weather beaten over time, but they look okay, I think. Never grown garlic, so wouldn't know what it would look like, but we'll just see how they get on. They're all looking okay in there. Like I said, apart from the ends look a bit frazzled, but I think that's just to do with the weather. And then I've got more over here as well. Yeah, there's quite a few in there. And at the end here, I've planted my spring onions. So they're all doing okay as well. Yep, so that's in that bed. I've got sweet peas that I'm going to grow up this trellis thing that I makeshift that I made here. So they're looking okay. I've put pots on the ends of our thing because I'm going to put flowers in. I've put their dwarf sweet peas in that one. Max and Coco tucked over by the gate. It's quite cool today, so they're not hot. Hey Coco. So yeah, that's dwarf sweet peas in that one. I'll just spin round here. I'll let Steve explain about his potatoes because Steve had planted them all.
Yeah, Sue often calls me the Spud King. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so the big red pot and the pot that's next to it, we've got our Maris Piper main crops. They were planted in on the 27th of April, and they're coming through really nice. The two smaller pots that are next to them, again, they're main crops. Again, they were planted on the 27th of April. Done them in pots purely because we had a few tubers left over and we'd run out of bed space. So we just thought it was nice just to put them at the back of the main potato bed. These are our first earlies. This year for the first earlies we went with the Cara purely for their blight resistancy. Sue and I went on holiday for 2 weeks last year, and while we were away there was a bad case of blight. Thankfully one of our neighbouring allotment pot holders skimmed the tops off them and managed to save our crop for us, which was a bit of a godsend.
And it looks like they're not going to be too long either, because they're starting to get flowers on them. So they're growing really well.
Yeah.
Just here on that one. Yeah, looking good.
So they're coming on great. And then this is just the overspill at the front. Again, I think these ones were Maris Pipers. So yeah, all the potatoes looking fantastic.
So that's all the potatoes, just show you from this angle. The ones down the bottom there. And then all these here in the bed. I've put straw as well in amongst them all. Straw down and everything in there as well. So they've all got straw mulch on them. So coming over this side of the front of the plot, I've got my spinach. Right, we did know the name of this.
I do know this. These seeds were from Sutton's and they're the pattern F1s.
Yeah, and my God, they grow huge. We've had about 6 or 7 pickings. In fact, there's a bunch there that I've picked, and also my little gems. So that's a good crop. That'll go home to my daughter today for her guinea pigs. So, but we have eaten a lot of it. So like I said, it's really good. And in there as well, I've put more spring onions.
I know the name of these too. These are again from Sutton's and they're the Lisbons.
There we go. So I don't know if you can see those, but they're scattered around all in there. And the spinach, let me just see if I can. Yeah, they're all growing new shoots on the spinach as well. But they're all doing really good in there. Over on this one is the beetroot. Now, I picked beetroot yesterday and Steve took a photo of it, so he's going to put that on to show you what they were like when we picked them. We didn't have time to video yesterday because my mum was down with us, and my mum actually deals with the beetroot. I pick it and then she pickles it all, so she enjoys doing that. But you can actually, these are all the smaller ones that are left. I've picked all the big ones. You can't really see down in there, but they're all growing really well.
And they're the bolt hardy variety as well.
There's just one down there. You can just see that one there, but they are doing really well. And I didn't have any come up on the front, so I put some more seeds in, and they've just started coming through on the front as well. I've got more flower seeds that's just coming through. Like I said, they were a mixture as well, and I don't know what they were called. They just said variety, but I do know that they are dangling ones. Whichever ones they are, I don't know, but they're looking not too bad. They're coming through. I've got more on the other corner, more sweet peas, and built another trellis there. So yep, they're growing up quite well. You can see they're starting to come up. Cocoa eating the grass there. On here, the broad beans, they're starting to get the beans on them, and what we've done is they were all covered, and I opened it up a little bit for the bees to get in last week, so they've been uncovered because I didn't like the idea of those what's those flies called, the black
fly.
No, but there's a name for them. We'll figure that out. I can't remember.
Aphids.
Aphids, that was it. Just went out my brain for a second. But what I've done is I've just literally covered the top, because apparently they land on the top if you take the tops off. apparently they can't land very well. But anyway, last year when I had them, they were absolutely covered in the aphids, and I took them out. So, but this year I'm trying my hardest to make sure they don't. So I just literally lifted it all up and just put the covering on the top just to see if that'll give a little bit of protection. And I've put the wire and stuff around the outside just to keep them up. I've got them growing, as you can see. They're just starting to come through now, which is great. And there's more in there as well. So it's doing really well. Yeah, it's doing really well in there. Down on there. As you can see, there's quite a lot of bits and pieces in there. So anyway, that's the broad beans. So I'll just spin you around. What I'll do is I'll just go to each bed and then I'll give you an overview of it afterwards. Right, in this one is my cabbage and my purple sprout and broccoli as well. I've mixed those sort of in. The cabbage is down there, which is looking really good at the moment. It's looking really nice. Yeah, so the cabbage is looking really nice. There isn't sort of any damage on the leaves or anything. And then over here, the broccoli, they're all looking nice as well. So yeah, it's grown up really fast. Doing it through the net. It's a really good net in this. We got the net in because I had that sort of netting over it, and you can see that one. And I found that the flies and everything was getting into it, and I don't know how. So we decided to go for this.
It's debris netting from Amazon.
Yeah, and so far so good. It's really good.
It wasn't overly expensive either, and I'll put a link in the description below.
So coming over here, these are my leeks that I've grown from seed. They're all looking quite good in there. And see, I did quite a lot of leeks, so I've got a couple of beds with leeks in it. Yeah, that's the leeks, and there I've got more cosmos and cosmos in the trough there. Just trying to put flowers around the place for a change. Didn't have flowers or anything last year, so coming over this side, I built our own arch. So like I said, I'll do an overview of everything when I've finished, but on this side of the arch, I've got my peas. They're going to grow up the arch. That's all the peas I've got in there. And these are my little gem lettuces. So we've had one. And I've got them growing over the other side as well, and we've had some out of there. And you saw the ones in with the spinach as well on the top there, ready to take home. These are pumpkin.
We're not sure of the variety of the pumpkins. I will ask the question. It was one of our allotment neighbours.
Yeah, so my neighbour had too many pumpkins, so we swap and thing. But these are what I got from my neighbour, so they're looking really good. They were tiny when I got them, but yeah, they're looking really good. So that's that bed, and I've grown more courgettes as well, and I'm gonna put one in the middle there. This is my carrots. I've got double layer of carrots because I'm not sure with this netting if it's going to keep out the carrot fly, so I've put a netting over the top as well. I don't know if you can see in there my carrots, but they're all looking really nice as well. Yeah, they're growing really well. In this one is more of my onions that I grew from seed, and Steve's planted his rocket in there, which we've had to pick a lot out. We've had quite a bit out of that as well, but they're starting to I don't know whether they're bolting or whether that's how they go, but we've never grown rocket before. But anyway, so like a peppery tasting one's really nice. And this is my, like I said, onions that I've grown from seed. So they're looking good. This is my French runner bean. I've put in 3 different caned ones. It was just like the overspill. I put too many in the seed, so there's one over there. They'd all come through, and I had far too many left over, so I just put them in the tubs just to put around the place. So in this one is my sprouts. So they've grown really well. Grew these from seed as well. Really pleased with those. Not grown these before either. So they're looking really good.
If I remember correctly, I think these were the Brigitte.
Oh, okay. There you go. Just see them in the back there. So far, so good with those. Put the steak in with them as well. Yeah, they're looking nice. Then over past the pumpkins, and these are more leeks. There's one bed of leeks there, and there's the overspill of leeks. But these ones are looking really good too. Yeah. Yep, and they're looking, at the moment, they're looking all okay, as far as I know. To me, it looks alright anyway. So I'll stay on this side now. So there's my Brussels sprouts, carrots. Next to the Brussels sprouts is my kale, looking really small, but I put them in a bit too, well, didn't put them in that long ago, but hopefully they'll grow quite fast now that they've gone in. So that's all the kale, and in between on that side, which I only did today, I've put beetroot down the middle, just down the middle, in between the two. Just turn it, that was quite awkward doing it in the net, sorry about that. Yeah, I've just put it in. So and down this side, I'm going to be putting my little gem in between them, or I might actually put my spring onion and put some little gems in between the Brussels sprouts. So yeah, that's those. In this one is my swede. Nothing with that at all at the moment, but I didn't plant that all that long ago, so yeah, nothing coming out of that one so far. In this bed here, I've got more, well, this is organic purple sprout and broccoli, and my organic broccoli, so they're all looking really good at the moment in that bed. This area here, Steve's going to make a table for. We usually have the chairs out and the brolly out down by the shed, so we've made that like a little seating area, which Mum was sat out yesterday, and the dogs like sitting in it as well. So I'll just spin you around this way. So coming over onto our other side of the plot is the other side of the trellis, and this is our fruit cage. There's where all the potatoes are. So in the fruit cage, I've got my blueberries. I've put the, what do you call it, ericaceous,
Ericaceous soil.
Ericaceous soil in with it, and that's my blackcurrant bush. They've got loads on them, so that bush is looking really nice. In the background, I've got my overspill of my broccoli and kale, and I've got dill, and my mum's rhubarb is just growing massive in the background there. I don't know whether you can see in the tubs. I've got more cabbage, so I've got some carrots here as well, growing in this tub. One of our allotment friends gave me some carrots, so I've put them in that tub. So thanks for that. Yep. And then I've got more overspill, my kale down here, and cabbage, purple sprout and broccoli, which did far too much. That tree here is my plum, and this one over here is the cherry. That's the cherry. So in this bed, these are all my parsnips. Well, I've got a weed in that one, which I need to take out. So, but I've got my parsnips growing quite nicely in there. And they're all coming through really nice. Looking really good so far. So on the other side of my arch, I've got sweet corn. I'm just trying out the sweet corn. I know you're supposed to put it into like blocks so that when they shake all the pollen or whatever it is, they pollinate each other. Or, but anyway, I've just put that in a row for just to try it out for this year, and I've only done 5 or 4 actually, just to see how I go, and then next year we can do a lot. In between, I've done more beetroot, and then I've got my French green beans, which is going to grow up the trellis as well. That's just started coming through. In this tub, I've got more sweet peas. They're dwarf ones, and this is my pear tree. These are all courgettes that I planted, which aren't doing too well, to be honest. But I have planted. These are the
Fothergills.
Fothergills.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I just found they've not really done too well. I don't know whether it's something that I've done or what, but anyway, I'm going to give them a bit long just to see. They seem to be perking up a bit, but they've been in there for a bit now, and just going to see how they go. I have potted some more, which were Sutton ones, so I might change them, see how these go. The Sutton ones I'll just, I don't know, put in bags like I've done there with that one. So to see how I go anyway.
It's disappointing with the courgettes this year because we've had 2 great years with the Suttons where we have literally picked in abundance, and this year we've changed the seeds over.
Yeah.
And we seem to have struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have got a backup plan, but we'll just see how we get on.
See how we got on with these. They might they're picking up, but yeah, see how we go anyway. Over here is the strawberries. I've got a strawberry on them already. This one there with the flowers. So these are Mum's strawberries that she planted. So she's pleased with them. More more flowers in a pot. So I will find out the names of the ones in the pots. That's my apple tree. And I'll just actually, so just coming around the other side of the apple tree and the courgettes. These are more strawberries in a little tub. These are just little ornaments that I brought from home. Little strawberries. This is my mint, which is looking really nice. The apple tree. I also forgot to say, I've got my little ornaments there as well, but I forgot to say my lavender is coming on really nice. So that's growing really good. So I'll just spin you around and come down to the other side. So strawberries, mint. This is my celery. not grown celery before either, and grew that from seed, but I'm not really sure how that's doing. Not really sure how that's doing. But Coco's gone for a look, haven't you, Coco? Hmm? Yeah, but not. It looks okay, but I don't know if I'm doing okay with it or what. But time will tell. But I've put more overspill of my leeks in here as well, all the way down. And then for a companion planting, and then I've put my radish. I've done the tube radish and the ball ones, lines of each. So we'll see how we get on with those. So that's all the ones that I've got in.
Oh, the radish was the Saxa too.
There you go. So that's how that looks in there. And then I'll spin you around onto this one. So these are, I've got so much cucumbers at home. I had 4 that was, I just had no room for it at all. But I'm going to put them in and just see how they go. And we have had cucumbers off them. Some cucumber that's growing there as well. Ooh, where am I aiming for? There, sorry. Yeah, there. So they're all looking okay at the moment. They're growing up on the, a bit yellow on the bottom, but I think that was when I first put them out. They'd gone a bit yellowy. So in the back there, down the middle, is the little gems. Really hard to show you that one, sorry, I'll to put that out here, but everything in the mesh in the middle is my little gem lettuces. A bit blurred because of the mesh there, but I'll open up the other end and show you what it looks like in there. So, and then here I've got, what are they called? Oh, they're called gherkins. I was given these by plot friend, so they're all in, starting to grow. So I've just put those next to the cucumbers. So then over here, I'll just open this up and just see if I can show you. These are all the little gems that I've got growing down the middle. They're all looking okay. Sorry, gems
Yeah,
plunked in the middle.
they were from Sutton's.
Yeah, here I've got all my sweet peas growing up on the trellis. So I've got sweet peas this side, cucumbers and gherkins the other, and little gems going through the middle. I'll just show you, I've got the peas. Peas are doing really well. They're all starting to come through. Got quite a lot of peas on it. And some of them are quite thick as well. I think it's going to be too long before we'll be eating the peas. My mum's excited about the peas. She says I'm going to sit over this side. I'm going to eat the peas for my lunch, and then sit and eat my strawberries for my afters. So, but you can see more peas. So this is another view from the fruit cage. A lot of stuff in there at the moment. So I'll just spin you around here. So this section here is where I'm going to be on in a line. I'm just going to put my cucumbers that I've got at home. So they're all going to go in a line there. And I'm going to put the mesh. I've got some wire down there that I'm going to put at the back of them so that they can grow up there. So that's, so now I've got my polytunnel stroke greenhouse, whatever you call it. I've been bringing my tomato plants out, and they've all been coming out here by the peas and what have you. But I didn't get them out today because it was very dull and it was quite windy as well this morning. But they're all bunched together in there at the moment, but they're not like that all the time. They're only in at night, and then I've got them out all day until the night time. But they're all doing. They've got lots of flowers and everything on them. My tomatoes, I've got plum tomatoes, which there's some plum ones there.
There's also some here. So look.
Oh yeah, it's a good bunch there. There's plum tomatoes, and it's mostly plum tomatoes that I've got. I think I've got about 7 cherry. So there's my cherry. And about 20 plum tomatoes because I've got loads at home as well.
We have gone a bit overkill this year on the tomatoes.
So anyway, that's all the tomatoes in there. I've got them in the bags. Don't know if I'll do that next year because they do take a lot of water in, and I've been feeding them every week with the what's it called, Tomarite. I have done my seaweed tea, which is in my shed. I'm going to start using that, I think, as well. So that's all the bag ones. So they do have a bit of room in there, even though they look squashed. They're actually not squashed in there. So over here I've got, that's just one that was brought from home. That was my son-in-law's plant. I don't know whether that's how it's been. It's a really old one, but I brought it down just to keep it down here. Might take it out and plant something else in there at some point. But I've got this as well. This is mint, more mint, that was grown last year. That's my son-in-law's plant, and I can't remember what he told me that was. That's the wire mesh for the cucumbers, and I've started doing my own composting as well with everything that I've been getting out of the. Only just started, so there's only a very thin layer at the bottom, so it's not even any. Well, I can show you quick. I'll just take these off and just show you. That's just all the green waste from the garden. So that's all I've got in there so far. So, and I've got a cardboard that I can put in there as well. So yeah, that's that in my shed. That's my potting shed with my tea. Call that. Steve's going to open it up. So I'll just show you this while I'm doing it. This is my it's my broad bean trellis that I made. They're all looking quite happy. All growing up the canes so far. Flowers look, the leaves look okay as well. I'll just bring it into my pot and shed. This is my spinach tea that we did the video of going down onto the beach and
seaweed tea.
Yeah. What did I say?
Spinach.
This is why I don't video very often. I get Steve to do it. Anyway, this is our shed with everything hanging up and all my
overkill of plant pots.
Steve always goes nuts because of all the stuff that I've got, but you can never have too much pots. So that's that. And then over here, got a barbecue there in the corner, and in there is just compost, my water butts, and my shed. This is called the potting shed, even though I don't do any potting in it. But we just have like our coffee and everything in here, and all my bits and pieces, all my companion planting. information. That's where Max likes to sit, isn't it, Maxie? And all my stuff, I put all my jars up there on the shelf, just put a screw through the lids and put them up. I need to do that with the rest of these as well, because I've got a lot of stuff on the shelves. And then round to this side, we've got all the chairs that we take out and my mat. And on these shelves is just bits and pieces and all my seeds and dog biscuits, of course. And then just more tools there. So what I'll do is I'll give you an overview of the actual plot. We've got I was given an Android by Steve for Christmas. I haven't used it yet, but I want to get that set up and I can do like an overview of the actual plot. So I'm going to do an overview now. So Steve's just pointed out as well, it's a drone, not Android.
It's definitely not an Android, not one, not unless I can find one that'll actually come down and help us de-weeding through the summer months. But it was definitely a drone Sue had for Christmas.
Dear, just yeah, I've done so much, brain's gone, which doesn't take much. So anyway, overview.
Hello.
The arch we actually made ourselves as a video of that as well. All my bamboo canes that were left over.
Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Sorry there's been a delay in doing them. It's just our workload over the last 5 weeks has been absolutely horrendous. This week I've taken the week off so we can try and get some things done, which is quite nice. I know our plot probably sometimes looks like it's a little bit of overkill with a lot of things going on and a lot of the beds, but I just want to point out our plot isn't actually the biggest plot that you can imagine. We are, I think from memory, 26 foot wide by about 42 foot long. So we try and utilise as much of the space as we can. This year we're doing succession sowing and a lot of companion planting as well, which is the first. And of course we try and do it all for self-sustainability and as organically as possible. I think that's important. But yeah, it's a kitchen garden. Everything that we grow we plan to eat unless it's a flower. And we also supply it to our family as well. So if you like our videos, you like what we do, please consider liking, subscribing and also sharing our video with anybody you think might be interested. Thanks a lot again for watching and we'll see you in the next one.